Oh, okay. We do appear to be live, so... Apologies for the extreme lateness this time. 18 minutes. Yeah, I know. It took me a bit of a while to figure all this out and spend some time filling out the description and stuff for this stream. It's been a bit of a decision to make, and I've kind of been agonizing over it, but in any case, good afternoon, I guess, to everyone who's tuned in. This is Vigentian, and I have something very different from the norm today. This is the Roblox game Eternal Towers of Hell, something I have been playing for quite a long time. As you can see in the bottom right corner, I have completed like 238 towers. It's kind of ridiculous. Anyway, for this stream, what I want to be doing is actually I'm going to make a personal server here. And if you saw the title of the stream, you may know what's coming. So, I'm entering this area, Ring 0, Purgatorio. This is the relatively new tutorial area for this game. It's a pretty nice place, and it's full of relatively easy towers for beginners to get their feet wet, I guess. Just going to go ahead and buy that because I can. Now, I do happen to recall that the Tower Rush is a wee bit hidden here. So I'm going to take the elevator on upward. Walk on out. And I believe it's this fountain here that has something hidden in it. Yes, there's a button. Now that I've gone up there and pressed that button, we should be able to head back down and enter the Tower Rush proper. You might also notice the little this thing in the bottom right. This is for convenience because I can't chat because I am not willing to give the Roblox Corporation my identifying documents. Like, ain't no way, bruh. Anyway, we walk up to this part with the weld texture and press F to flip through. And here is the Purgatorio Tower Rush portal. So, this is going to involve playing through every tower in this area in a row consecutively. And if you happen to get into an unwinnable situation at any point, you have to restart the entire thing from the beginning. So I'm going to be attempting that. I've done it once before, but that was before the game actually tracked completion for these. So if I can just go over to Tower Completions here and scroll down, yeah. It shows that I haven't beaten the Tower Rush even though I actually have, simply because it wasn't tracking that before. So let's get started. We begin with the easiest tower in the area, the Tower of Genesis. It's got a nice aesthetic. Also, I'd like to acknowledge that someone just greeted me in chat, so hello there, good to see ya. In any case, this is pretty simple. These bricks, these granite texture bricks that emit skull and crossbones particles, they're called kill bricks, but they don't actually kill you instantly, they just damage you. These things here are trusses. You can climb up them. There's also ladders, which are made up of more plain parts, but you can still climb them too. Have some simple spinning platforms here. Jump down here, hitch a ride on this swinging platform, and push this down. Generally, pushable objects are marked with an X like this, except for like pushable boxes. Those usually don't really have a marking on them, but you can still push them around whichever way. Continuing onward, we have another swinging platform. Heading up further, we now have the walls changing color. Towers in this game typically consist of 10 floors total, where each floor is a 100 by 100 by 100 cube of studs. You can see the stud textures on pretty much all the parts here. What else was I going to say? I kind of forgot. Anyway, this one's honestly pretty dang simple, and I have quite a bit of skill built up at this game, so I don't think it's going to give me any trouble in particular. The music's changed now. Remember this path. Let me just look up what that means. Ah, good to see you two. How am I doing? I'm doing fine. This is a button. You can usually press those just by touching them, and they tend to activate or deactivate parts like this path here. Jumping across here. Walk around. Sometimes floors can be a bit larger than the typical 100 stud on edge cube. Like in this case, where we have this extension on the side of the floor that actually leads all the way up to the next one. But we are going to be coming back down in due time, I think. We have these spinning bits here, and then we have this green button. Press that, and now we can head over this way, and there's a shortcut unlocked as well in case we fall. This is something that typically is referred to as button progress in towers, where typically once you hit a button, you don't have to go and press it again. You can just continue faster than before, so that's nice. Though some towers do use button deactivators, which are parts that specifically deactivate buttons if you touch them. So that is something you may need to watch out for later on, I suppose. Anyway, more rotating stuff here, including a rotating cylinder. These trusses, honestly, are... I bet they're just there to make, like, doing a no-jump feasible for that little bit, at least. That's funny. Rotating spheres here. Another swinging platform. Some more stairs to climb up. And now we're suddenly teleported outside the tower. Outside sections in towers are generally less forgiving than their inside counterparts because most of the time, if you fall off the outside of a tower, you can't get back in. So you have to use the reset feature, which you can do by holding the R key on a keyboard, as I'm using here. You've probably heard my keyboard clacking this whole time. That's what I prefer to use to play this game, keyboard and mouse. Anyway, continuing on this way, now we're up to this purple floor. Jump down. Push this over this way. Jump over here. Go across here. Drop down a little bit. Walk across more of these spinning cylinders. More stairs, and there's... Oop. Yeah, better make sure to line up with that. Don't want to fall. Press this button, and that wall from earlier, the green wall, is now gone. And we have arrows indicating where to go, which is pretty nice. Here, in sections like this where you basically can't jump and all, and there's a low ceiling, I prefer to zoom into first person. It's easy to do just using the mouse wheel. Anyway, I think we're already getting close to the end of this tower, which is good because, as you can see at the top, this is only the first of 11 towers in this tower rush. There are some that are longer than this, I'm pretty sure, but yeah. And of course, there are a bunch that are harder than this. Purgatorio is one of the easiest areas in the game, and intentionally so. So naturally, the tower rush isn't too bad either, even though it's a good deal harder than anything else in the area. Climbing up further, we are now in a blue floor, and now we just climb up these rotating stairs while dodging these things. Reach the top and touch this orb here. Screen goes black temporarily, and now we're outside. And we have, like, I think that's called letterboxing on the top and bottom, those black bars. So I guess that's pretty cinematic, actually. That's nice. Anyway, continuing along here. More trusses to climb. Another swinging platform. Wait for it to come here and then ride it across. Same for this next one. Over here we have a spinning cylinder that actually has kill bricks on it. And here we have more spinning danger. Not that it's difficult to dodge. Climb up this truss, and I think this leads directly to the end of the tower. Just take this all the way over. Sure enough, here is the wind pad. That looks like it's giving off confetti and is rapidly cycling through colors and textures. Touch it to finish the tower. I just received 7 tickets from beating that tower, which is cool. Whenever you beat a tower, you earn some tickets, but you can't beat the same tower over and over to grind tickets that way, because there's a cooldown period of 1 week before you can beat the same tower again to get more tickets. Anyway, we're on to the second tower of the Tower Rush, the Tower of Motion Evolution. And I'm pretty sure I'm already on the second floor. This one's pretty short as well, I think. Though some of the towers get real long. Particularly, there's a citadel at the end of this Tower Rush, and citadels can have up to 25 floors. And wouldn't you know it, the citadel in this area does in fact have 25 floors. So that's likely going to take a good long while. Push this. Heading over this way, we have this. Jump onto the inner platform and then back to the outer. Push this across. Going over this way, push this, land here, get up here, jump down, push this to get into the next room. Push that away. We have truss there. This moves left and right, and so does that. I like how those platforms are given a bit of a distinctive design so you know what to expect from them. Heading on over this way. Conveyors. I don't think I've pointed them out before, but yeah, conveyors tend to have arrows like that that indicate which direction they'll move you, as well as the rate at which they'll move you, like the velocity. So that's pretty nice. These move up and down, and we're already up here. There's a sign that says we're almost halfway there. This platform tilts a bit when you stand on it. This is an example of a pushing platform trampoline. You stand on it, and then when it starts going up, you start moving, and it'll launch you upward to the next part of the, well, obstacle course. So that's pretty neat. Continuing this way, we have this. Another tilting platform. And now we're officially at the halfway point for this tower. Have this hexagonal platform here. Going over this way. Sometimes the only way to progress is down. We fall down this tunnel back to an earlier floor. This cylinder is going to rotate when you stand on it. Climb the stairs, and right, there's little platforms that move up and down that take you all the way back up. Just stand on one. And now we're back up here. Some towers can be very circuitous in their route, like well, the Citadel for this area. That's a pretty good example, I think. Really goes all over the place, that one. In any case, continuing this way, push that out of the way. This is another rotating cylinder. Expect things to get a bit crazier from here on out. Alright then. That flips around. You need to push it from the side. Have a set of 4 platforms circling around here. A little star-shaped one there. And like I said, yeah, falling on an outside section can end your run on most towers, so you want to typically avoid falling. Some towers are more forgiving, some are not. Continuing on here, push this. Take the conveyor, head down here, push this across. Stand on one of these, and ride it over. Now we have this spinning cylindrical section. Not too bad, honestly. Continuing on to the next floor, we have this with these circular platforms spinning around. Then over here we push this. We have more spinning stuff, of course. I mean, it's the Tower of Motion Evolution. You should expect there to be a lot of moving parts. Whenever you come across a conveyor that you can't just walk against to get past, you can just jump. They can't really affect you in the air. This is a seesaw. Head on here. And this should be the last floor coming up. And the music changes for the occasion, too. Use shift lock for this jump. I've been using it basically the whole time, but yeah, using shift lock is generally how you want to do wraparound jumps like this. Like that. You move your mouse in midair to get around the wall. That's generally how you want to deal with those jumps, because harder wraps can only really be dealt with that way. Do not fall. Understood. Push this around. Disembark there. We have this here, then we have this little bit with these spinning trusses. Not that it's that difficult at all. Avoid stuff here, and then we can continue. Pretty neat how that platform that continues forward is linked to the one that you push. Wrap around that. That was the last outside of the tower, so that's nice. Have another trampoline here. Oh, this is the last floor. My bad, the last one was 9, this is 10. In any case, continuing on. Another tilting platform. Be sure that wall isn't in your way when you decide to jump. We have another seesaw. Another one of these where the platforms are spinning around at the pivot, and the platforms are themselves rotating as well. Jump up there, continue this way. The wind pad is visible, and now we're there. Another 7 tickets, and now we arrive at the Tower of Buttons. First button is required just to get into the tower. There's a useless button in the corner. I guess that thing... Oh, hello! Good to see you! Fly me to the moon! That's what's playing right now. Wii Shop Channel, but it's Fly Me to the Moon. That's funny. Anyway, yes, someone just came into the chat who I recognize because I'm friends with them on Discord, I think, so that's pretty cool. In any case, this is the Tower of Buttons. It revolves around, you guessed it, buttons. So we're going to be seeing a lot of those throughout this. Hidden button there, that activates this. Going over this way. Down here is a button. Walk up this ramp, hit the button down here, and now we can go outside for just a little bit, and then head back in and go across this way. Now we have timed buttons being introduced, as well as standard ones. It's Ruins at Night from Kirby Mass Attack, except it's the Magalore, the far-flung traveler motif. That's funny. Anyway, yes, there was a conveyor there. Pretty simple stuff, though. Again, being instructed on what a pushing platform does, even though I've been through a bunch of towers already. Activate all 3 of these timed buttons and head over this way. More Siva Gunner rips. This sounds familiar. Anyway, heading outside, we have these platforms that kind of spin on a weird axis. Huh. I might need to look up what this rip is referencing, honestly. I'm not all that... I mean, I'm aware of Siva Gunner making high-quality rips, which is to say they have jokes inserted into them in the composition. But this sounds familiar, but I just can't quite place it, honestly. It's kinda annoying, to be honest. Do not attempt to ride the ball. Just push it. Oh, okay. Need to push it some more. It goes across and presses the button, allowing us to go this way and ride the elevator up to here. These outsides are thankfully safe, so falling won't mean the end. Here, we need to activate these 3 timed buttons, jump across these spheres and such, and hit that button. Pretty simple stuff. Over this way, we have button deactivators being introduced. If you touch them, they'll deactivate the button that was at the start of this section. So you generally want to avoid these. Of course we have the Flintstones theme in this rip. Why wouldn't it? You know, the 7 Granddad meme from Vinesauce. If the bridge isn't here, you hit a deactivator, but since it is here, we can just hit the button and continue. Push this button, push the box across, push it underneath this wall. The conveyor takes it over to that timed button. Just get through this section nice and quickly, push another box here, onto this timed button, continue this way, jump across the wedges, hit this button. With all 3 buttons pressed, we can now continue. Wow, another Siva Gunner meme in this rip. Snow halation, yes! Wow. Onto the green floor here. There's a button here. Make sure to pass through that on your way down so you don't fall. More buttons that you have to jump through. Heading on over this way. Another button. You need to aim for that one and land on it so you activate the platform. More buttons to jump through on walls to deactivate those. Take the pushing platform over this way. Jump down here to activate that button, climb back up. Walls down, we can continue. Over this way we have 2 buttons to press. Continuing this way. Tilting platforms. Spinning cylinders here. And now we're getting introduced to the idea of buttons that we don't want to press, like this one. Not all buttons are good, indeed. That deactivates the bridge and makes you wait. Don't hit that button there either. But we do want to hit this button, because that opens a hole in the wall so we can go outside and continue. Seems like we wouldn't want to hit that button, so I'm leaving it alone. This, however, is one we do want to hit. Just squeeze through the gaps there. Pretty simple. Up here... Yeah, okay, I shouldn't have pushed that. That's my bad. Continuing onward. Push this across. Going outside again. Take the elevator. Push this, and now we're being introduced to morpher buttons, which are pretty neat in that they tend to reuse the same set of parts. I fell. Heading back up this way. Okay. Heading outside. Hit this button. And now this stretches out and allows us to go this way. We have a timed button here that extends this. Another timed button that makes this all fold out. Wedges to jump across. Hit the timed button. Pretty simple stuff, honestly. I mean, this is an easy difficulty tower. What do you expect? Things are going to start ramping up in difficulty later on, but for now, yeah. Ride this spinning cylinder around. And then ride it around again. Press this button and get on the platform as it rises up. Jump across these. Up here, down here. Push that to extend this. Push the button and then get on this platform. This platform doesn't carry you, so you have to walk along with it. Some platforms will carry you along with them, some won't. So that's something to watch out for as you're playing towers. Going over this way. We have these timed platforms that also don't carry you. Continuing this way. We have this section where you need to dodge the kill bricks as you ascend. Pretty simple stuff. Jump over these. Continue down here. Jump across the spinning cart there. Now we're on this floor. Push that and this thing spins around. Push that and it spins the other way. Push this time button, so we need to get a move on, I suppose. Push that. And continue. Push this to call this platform down. Wait for the timer to expire, and then follow it as it goes back up. This is a pushing platform. Push it across. Over this way, we have 4 spinning cylinders around a central pivot. Head down to hit this button, and then head up to hit that button. And now we can continue. We have fast-moving conveyors here. Nothing too crazy. Hit this and head up to the next floor, where we once again have multiple challenges to tackle before we can continue. First, we have this, where you need to keep up with the platform until it makes it to the end of its path. Then continue over this way. Press the timed button. Again, try to keep up with the platform. And now I can press this yellow button. Continuing to the next challenge here. Press this. And avoid the button deactivators. I was supposed to jump over that. That's my bad. Not like they waste too much time anyway. Jump over that to hit that button. Timed button to deactivate that. Ignore the other timed button though. And now we push the red button. Over this way we have a push box section. Push this into here, and then continue on without the box. Press the button, and that activates the platform to bring the push box upward, so we can continue pushing it. Push it across, and use it as a platform to get up here. Push the orange button. Just one challenge left now. That'll be right over here. Press that button and continue back the other way. Push this button, and now that's activated. Walk on through. Over here we have another button. Pretty simple stuff, really. Just find the button, push it, continue. That's the last of the buttons. So now we're free to head back inside the tower and continue. We have red part here, orange here, I guess yellow-orange, and then yellow. Push that button, and that reveals a spiral staircase leading up to the wing pad, which is shaped like a button. How very nice. Now we have the Tower of Critical Damage. This one starts kind of dark. It's like a cave. Climb up here. Jump down here. Continue round. Push this button, and that opens the door down below. Drop down, and walk into the beam of light. Following the cutscene, the next door opens. We have this remarkably thick tightrope here. Drop down into this gap. And drop down further to press that button. And now climb back up and head over this way. Press this to spawn a push box. The inlets on the ground indicate where to push this to. That being that button. That opens the way. Drop down here. Now we need to dodge these as they come down from above. Not that much of a problem, though. Continuing onward. Thought I could get there from there. Guess not. Anyway, push the red button. What did that do exactly? Okay. I guess I need to head back this way, I guess? I'm not entirely sure about this. Huh. No, it doesn't look like there's anything here. Oh, I see. You climb up this rope, which is a truss. You can faintly see the truss around it. And now we're out of the underground area. We have kill bricks that move back and forth along stationary parts, as well as conveyors. And tight ropes too. Push this across, climb up the wedge, climb the truss, jump up here, continue over this way. Stay low on that platform to avoid the axe heads. Bounce off of that down there. That's a pretty neat thing. Walk across the drawbridge. Heading over this way. Interact with the lever. That basically acts like a timed button. Get over here and take the spring upward. Push this button and take this over here. And continue upward. Now we have swinging axes. You'll want to dodge them, of course. Looks like you can't reach that lever down there. Maybe if you had a platform. Well, we can push this box. And it becomes a platform. That lowers that bridge. Where was that anyway? Oh, it was over this way, as I suspected. Jump down here, climb up the truss. Along this way. Ah, there's the way forward. We have more platforms that just move back and forth between two locations. Just wait for them to arrive. Have patience. You don't want to accidentally go for the platform too soon or too late and end up falling. At the end of that chain of platforms, we disembark. We have this rotating cylinder, followed by this. Stay on top, and here we are. We have this floor, which is apparently a construction zone. Walk across the tightrope. Jump down here. Walk on through. Over here we have another axe, followed by a spring. Climb up here. Here we have fading platforms. They fade away after you step on them. If you're still on them by the time they fully fade away, well, you're just gonna fall, because at that point, they're not tangible anymore. So you'll want to move quickly when it comes to those things. Activate the lever. And suddenly a wrecking ball comes in and destroys this wall, enabling progress. Just continuing this way. The music has changed again. We have more fading platforms to deal with. Climb up here. There's a beam indicating that you have to jump down there, which is nice. Continuing this way, we have another swinging axe. Climb this spiral staircase, and there's another lever. This time it flips this panel to enable going outside. Here we touch a section of the wall because it also fades, and then we can just get through. Continuing. Jump in through the window of this cement mixer, I guess. Continue on through, push this, red button. Push it, and it's a trapdoor. Well, now we're in a cage, but we can just slip through the bars. Jump across the way, dodge these. More fading platforms, as well as moving walls going on here. Continuing, we head over this way. Jump over the bullets. Then we have another one of these wheels. Another very thick tightrope. Seems like this box is quite heavy. Maybe enough to hold the weight of something else? It would appear that we need to use the box to hold that in place so we can continue further down. Push it over this way. Oh, right, of course it disappears. Right, duh. Yeah, generally there will be hazards in these sections that you want to avoid the box touching because it'll just immediately disappear. In any case, push the box, and now this is open. Drop on, in, dodge the axe, and keep up with these platforms as they continue. Pretty simple stuff. Now I have this rotating bit. Just keep going against the direction of rotation to get over here. And now we have platforms that travel upward. And again, we need to dodge stuff. Watch your step. Every fall will send you back here, but at the price of 10 damage per fall. So if you fall 10 times without any healing in between, you're just gonna die, which means you have to restart the whole tower. Yeah, watch for moving parts, that's why it said that, duh. But at least I didn't fall into the net. Continue back over this way. Alright, watch for the moving walls. Be patient and avoid them. Now we're over here. Here we need to use the springs to avoid the axe. Axes that are spinning around, that is. The beam indicates where to jump to here. Quite a few hazards to dodge. Jump up to this section and wait for the platform before continuing. Press this red button and continue. Now we have this airship with a turret in the middle. The lever makes this set of stairs come down. So now I can continue from here. Take the spring here. We have cannons now. Heading over this way, we have another lever, which makes that bridge come down. So now we can continue. Wait for the spiral staircase to come around. Jump down, hold forward with shift block. Here you go. Guide the platform to the end by moving the obstacles out of the way. Why did I jump there? Why did I do that? I should have known it was just going to come back without me. Wow, the power of not caring. Jump back down here. A lot of waiting going on, I'm noticing. Continue back this way, walk around, take the stairs. Back up here. This way again. Back to the spiral staircase. Pull forward. Simple. Okay. Okay, it moves very slowly. That's nice. Stand on this to get that out of the way. And now ride the platform across here to get to this button. That opens this up back here. Now heading back up. Conveyor here. Spring here. And we've arrived at the final floor. Got some swinging going on here. Jump across. Ride the platform, dodge the stuff. Continuing over this way. Jump around. Don't look down. So we have this little cup here. It's a pretty neat little thing that you may see in other towers as well, I think. We simply ride in it. Obviously, I don't dare hit the spacebar right now to jump because, yeah, not really a net around here, is there? Anyway, at the end, force damage. And jump power has been removed. We have this spiral staircase, and I'm pretty sure there's actually a bit of a troll moment here. Yeah. And yes, we do have a chiptune arrangement of Roundabout by Yes. But that leads to the win pad. Very nice. We're now on to the medium difficulty towers with the Tower of Boost Mayhem, which focuses on walk speed and jump power boosts. And I think this is the start of when towers start getting longer here. You might think we've been on pretty good pace so far, but yeah, that's about a change. Anyway, we have a jump booster. These jump boosters give you more jump power so you can jump higher, which is, of course, very useful. But there are also jump power removers too, that remove your boost. There are, of course, also timed variants of these boosters. Already on to the second floor here. Now we have speed boosters that make you move faster, as well as removers for that as well. And of course the timed variety. warning that boosters aren't always helpful. And yeah, they can be used for purposes like making you unable to jump. As we kind of saw on the last tower as well. But you can still get out of a sitting state, at least. Which also takes the space bar to do. Anyway, pushing the box over this way. Now we have this. Walk across here. Take the conveyors. We have these spinning things. Walk around here. Climb the truss, and now we can finally jump again. But now we're slow. Walking through there, we have this. We're now on to the next floor, I think, which is nice. Jump boost pad only works while you're standing on it. There's also a variety that isn't actually tangible, such that you have to be standing inside of it instead of on it to get the boost. There was a button up there, so that's nice. Now heading over this way, jump up again, fast conveyor, and we have another push box section, only this one's pretty dang tall. We push it to the designated area and then jump on top of it. And that gets us to the next floor. Speed boost pad. Unlike the jump boost pad, only, well, they're speed boost. Pretty obvious. Push the button and then drop back down. We have another push box section, only this time the floor is spinning. Push it into that button, and now we can continue. Ride these things around, and now we need these speed boosters to make these jumps pretty much. Jump up here, and suddenly we're outside. The good news is, you won't die if you fall outside. Still would rather not test it, though. We have these in red outlines that make you slower when you're standing in them. Anyway, hitching a ride over this way. Just dodge the stuff. Jump around here, climb the truss, and press the button on top to open the way forward. Makes these two additional platforms appear. Wow, almost fell there. That would have been bad. Anyway, we now have this open because we pushed that other button, and now we can ride this over here and continue. That seemed to operate while I was just above it rather than... That was weird. Anyway, staying away from the center here. Touch that, and now we're back inside the tower. Alright, now we have a speed boost, and we're heading over this way. Stand on the end of this, and jump across. Falling down that hole, we now have another button pressed, so we can climb this. Booster removers there. Continue over this way, jump up, and now we have a new floor. we need to use the jump pads here. Find 5 buttons in just this little area at least, so it's a pretty small area. There's one, and I can already see a second right there. You do in fact need to get all 5 buttons because those buttons control walls that will get in your way if you don't. Heading up here, we have another button here. There's the 4th. The 5th is over this way. And there we go. The wall is now disabled, and we can continue through where it once was. Jump up. Suddenly we're here. Climb on up. Go against the grain. Jump across that gap with the help of the speed boost. Okay, let me try that one again. I didn't expect it to take simply because I was a bit above it, but let's just try that again. There we go. Yeah, I should have known that would work. Like, that wouldn't be how... If it didn't work, the tower wouldn't be designed around it. Like, duh. Anyway. Press the pink button, and now the pink wall is down, and I fell again. Well, at least now I don't have to deal with the stuff leading up to the pink button again. See? Jump across. Continue this way. Climb up. Walk off there. The speed booster ensures that you make it across, which is nice. Jump down the conveyor, ride this upward. Be wary of this. Okay, truss up to another button. That activates these platforms, enabling progress over here. Walk through, and once you jump up here, you will have to move quickly. Yeah, we've got a rising killbrick floor here. So you're gonna want to get through here as quickly as you can manage. There's a push ball. And now it's time for the tower's requisite title drop. And we have Clutter Funk playing in the background. That's a nice track. Push this button. It is timed. Get into the thing. Now we're outside. Continue this way across the rotating cube. We have conveyors. Take the jump over this way. Now we're here. Find 3 buttons this time. There's this thing that sweeps across. What I like to do is just hold jump while it's doing that. Ensure that I don't fall. Whoa. What was I just saying? Anyway, continuing over this way now that we have all of the buttons. Continue across the conveyor and upward. Now we're back outside, continuing over this way. And yeah, we can't jump here. Okay, we need to jump up this way. Push the button. The lighting kind of gets all funky here and stays that way for the rest of the Tower Rush, if I recall, which is pretty dumb, honestly. And now I'm just repeating stuff because I clearly can't take a hint on where to go. Yeah, I already pushed the red button. That's my B. Get back in there. Okay, now we want to head over this way. Climb up here. Yes. I think we're pretty much at the top of the tower. So that's cool. Jump up onto here and boing. And yep, there's the wind pad. Alright. Here we have the Tower of Various Pressures. This one's honestly pretty inventive, I think. We have a new, rather suspiciously similar original track replacing the one that used to be here. Push this to get up here. Push this down. Jump backwards off of that truss. Jump onto here, disembark, continue up. Rather funny that I've already done 5 towers in just an hour, but I don't think I'm going to be able to keep that pace up for long, because like I said, these later towers are quite a bit longer. Especially the Citadel. That one is very long. Pushable platforms with springs will retract. See the spring above? Yeah. Now we have a seesaw. Use that to get up here. And like I said, yeah, the lighting just kind of stays funky this entire time. Squeeze through the gap here. And this tower does not have forgiving outsides, so you had better not fall. Use momentum and get up here. Jump against the spinning direction. And again. We're now on, I'm pretty sure, the 3rd floor. Continuing this way. Push this. Jump off. I like how there are little silhouettes, pretty much, of characters showing you what to do. These exclamation point platforms, you want to jump off of them pretty much immediately after you land on them. Thankfully, you can buffer jumps in this game, so yeah. More hold forward with shift lock stuff. Okay, well, you don't necessarily need to get off them as soon as you land on them, but you do need to get off rather quickly, because once those platforms reach the bottom of their defined range, pretty much, they become intangible and drop you. So that's not exactly a good thing, as I'm sure you can imagine. And, okay, I need to go this way. Ah, sit here for a moment and then jump. Heading up this way. Now we have one of these that has a circling kill brick. We have another seesaw. And now we're up here. Get on top of this. Jump across. I hope you aren't afraid of heights. This outside is more challenging than the last. Jump on top of one of these and stay on top with continuous adjustment. Walk around here. Jump backwards off of the ladder. Jumping isn't always the best idea. There's a low ceiling here and it's made of kill bricks, so you don't want to jump there. Anyway, continuing across here. Now we have this. Push it with you so you can ride it on the way back so you can climb this ladder. Now we have this section where what you're meant to do is, yeah, hide out on the outside to dodge the kill bricks. Anyway, now heading back inside. we have these moving platforms. Push this down. It goes quite far down, actually. Take the conveyor up. This is a push box. Use it to get up here. And walk across this crazy thing. And now we're here. More falling platforms here. Some wedges. Jump on top of this and wait a little. Then get off here. Ladder there, and now you have to roll this cylinder by standing more toward the front of it. So there's that. Now, where do I think I just jump down here and then down here. And continue over this way. This truss, well, you want to go around back, climb up, and then jump off. Heading around this way. Look at that, now we're on a green floor. And again, we have something of a suspiciously similar song to what was here before, which I'm pretty sure was a song from, like, Pokemon Black and White. Yeah, that got replaced entirely. The replacement song is using, like, the same instruments, though, so that's pretty funny. Anyway, now we have a rather dark section here. Okay, you need to push these stairs to line up so we can get up here. Again, wait for that to fall a bit before jumping. Climb up this way and push this across. And yep, we have another wrap. Explained those earlier, you want to use shift lock. Push those aside, and now we're outside again. But not for long, thankfully. Now we just ride this platform over. There's a limitless supply of them, which is nice. Climb up here. Push this. Jump down to the ladder and climb up. Kill bricks, kill boxes. Yes, that is useful information. Push the box up here and use it to get here. Tilt the seesaw to get here. Jump off before the end of that conveyor belt. Heading over this way. Another pushing platform. Jump to the truss. Jump backward. Go through this door, I guess you could call it. This outside is mostly netted, but you should still be careful. Because that part there isn't netted. Now we have a ball that we need to navigate through the kill bricks. The good news is there's a little divot in the floor that it'll fit nicely into. Continuing this way. Yeah, just fast track it. Jump against the conveyors. More falling platforms here. Jump down here. Push this. Jump down. Now we have this bit. And another cylinder that we need to roll. Jump onto this and launch up. Launch up with these trampolines. Wrap around there. Jump across. Down here. Lift the door. So we need to go here. Push this round. Tilt the seesaw and jump over the spiky log. Don't want to get hit by that. I'm pretty sure it's tangible too, so it can potentially push you off if you're not careful. Anyway, wrap and head up here. The good news is we don't actually have to really engage with that spiky log. Push this box onto this. And that raises the door somewhat. Unfortunately, we do still need to raise it more, so now we have to head over this way. Launch upward. Continue over this way. Jump off of that platform. We have this spinning bit. Pretty simple stuff. 2 of these in a row. Jump down. Have an angry face on that spinner. That's pretty nice. That's like an ancient Newgrounds meme, I think, actually. The angry face. Anyway, pushing this, now the door should be fully opened. Yes. Now we can continue on inside. Ride this down and launch up. Jump up these falling platforms. Push this down, jump the log. Push this down. And now we're on this yellow-green floor. And we have more Siva Gunner rips going on. Very funny. Anyway, just ride this all the way around to get up here. Wrap around that. Jump off the platform to get to the truss, then there we go. Need to ride this platform and dodge the things along the way. There's a random chair here. Funny. Okay, we need to go against the grain on that spinner. Climb this truss. Jump across here. Push this. Have another spiky log here. Another cylinder to roll. We have this cylinder that's studded with kill bricks, pretty much. We're back outside. Launch up. Launch up. And now be sure to wrap for that jump. Now we're back on the inside. Jump between these spinning bits. Jump onto this wheel of platforms. Continue onward. Push this. Jump over here. Use that to launch up. There's a sign. Slide! Just walk in and don't press anything. And sure enough, we do slide safely to the intended place. Very nice. Continuing over this way, we have a moving wall, some conveyors around this spinner. The silhouette shows you what to do here. You land on the falling platform first and then jump to the little bit on the side to wait out the time that it's intangible. Drop down here and push across. Oh, okay, that's moving. Stand to the side. There we go. Here. Get across the rotating plus and minus, I guess. That's funny. Push this. And now we head back the way we came. Because now we formed a ramp that'll let us get up higher. Nice. Climb the ladder here and jump off backwards before the end, of course. Ride that. Bit of a off-center axis there, that's funny. Jump down this way, ride the wheel. They turned this song into chopsticks. And it's a deliberately poorly played rendition, it sounds like. That's funny. Like the recorder cover of My Heart Will Go On. Alright, there's a pretty big crack in the wall here, which means, yep, we're just gonna break through it with that push-in platform. You must ride atop the ball for this section, so you need to keep the ball under control and prevent it from falling off. Then you can jump off of it here. Heading over this way, we have that swinging about. And then, alright, walk down the slope here and jump across. Another wrap. Push. Another wheel. Wheel going the opposite way relative to where you're going. Rather, where we are going. Now we're back in the light section, and oh hey, the lighting doesn't... Oh, it totally is funky still. Okay, drop down here, and jump over to these spheres. Wrap around. Another cylinder to roll. Yeah, you want to jump off of it before it hits that kill brick down there, because that destroys the cylinder. Now we have these conveyors that you jump onto for a time and then get off of. What is this? Sky Sanctuary Zone in minor key? Oh no, it's just an arrangement of another song. Anyway, push that over that way, climb up, climb this ladder, jump across. Okay, made it down here. Push this down. Last jump, it says. Easy. And we have another song using the same instruments as the old one, I think, like Kirby Superstar up in there. That was the Tower of Various Pressures. And now we are on to the Tower of Kinetic Potential. This one's pretty cool too, I think. And it's also kind of strikingly beautiful. Like, look at these water effects. That's kind of impressive. Anyway, it starts out simply enough. Alright. This is something of a gimmick here with this tower. We take the elevator here and push the button to spawn the push box, which appears here. Now, we push it along this path and to the button. Pretty simple stuff. But that is, of course, going to be evolved more as we go through the tower. Up this way, we can spawn this. Okay, I need to push it further before I let it fall. Push it all the way to the edge, and then let it fall. Makes a neat little bridge. Jump onto this. That moves us across. Jump onto this. Brings us to an elevator. Push this button. We don't want to change the orientation of this. Just push it like that. And hit that button. Now we go across. And this just suspends us in place vertically. Just navigate through. Jump up this way, climb the truss. Jump here. This elevator does this. Just time it correctly. Jump around the other way. Avoid the obstacles and get over here. These transparent red parts will also kill the push box, so you want it to avoid them. Now that we've pushed that button, we can continue. We have these platforms with these neat particles behind them. Continuing over this way, jump into the orb. That brings us up here. We have a red push box, pretty much. Push that into the elevator, and that activates a button that allows us to continue. We have this yellow push box, or at least it looks yellow. Push it into the button. Simple stuff. We now need to find buttons to spawn 2 push boxes. There's one. And over here should be the other. Yep. Now just a little bit of backtracking and putting the 2 together, like that. Walk into this cannon. All outside sections in this tower are netted, So it's actually more forgiving than the last one. This push box just acts as a bridge without having to do any sort of puzzly stuff. That's funny. Walk in here, head over here, and push that. Now we can jump across. Go before the push box touches the button. There's a timer displayed to let you know exactly how long you have left, which is very nice. Go again. Timer's longer this time, 25 seconds as opposed to like 15. Spawn the push box, bridge, and another. And there we go, made it with a fair few seconds to spare. Spinner here, push this, that makes that appear. I like how it's balanced on that part there, that's nice. That just hit a button, so now you can continue over this way. Land here. We have more dodging to do. Bit of a lag spike there, don't know what happened, but yeah, a bunch of dropped frames, I don't know why. And now we're over here. Okay, so for this bit, we need to hit all the buttons in the background using this thing. Yep, there it goes. Now I continue over this way and enter the cannon. Push this, wrap around, continue upward, land on this, push that to get rid of that wall, and continue upward. Go across these bridges, negotiate this spinner, push the button that activates this, and now we go back this way and over here. Make sure to avoid the kill bricks when going down this dropper. Yeah, we're going back down a bit here. I am, of course, doing my best to dodge everything. Oh. I say that and then I immediately get hit, of course. Alright, now we're down here. Press the red button to make that appear. Now we have this going on, where we need to push these into their respective places. But they're not even all that far, so not much of an issue. Press the green button, and that lets us go further this way. Jump down here, here, here. And now we hit the blue button, RGB. That's funny. Continue on. And that was only the first half. That kind of took a bit, I'll be honest, but yeah, we're about to enter the second half, and I just realized I need to jump onto the center here. Yeah. Things are going to get significantly more futuristic from here on out, and we've got something of a safety net too, which is nice. Special push boxes that move in place depending on the direction of the arrow on them. So you'll want to be paying attention to that. We have these spinners that look a bit like crosshairs, honestly. Climb up this way. We have these. And there's a button. Now that we press that, we need to get this little guy. There's a spinning thing, of course there is. Let me try that again. Push this. Okay, trying this again and being aware of that thing in the middle. There we go. Push that. Jump into here. Press this. Bridge. Push it to get up here. Now we have these spinners that are themselves, these spinning platforms that are spinning around the pivot as well as spinning themselves. Disembark this thing here. Push this over this way, and use it to climb up. Now go to the other side of the blue rising push box. It's a good thing it automatically respawns. Now we're here. And we have arrows guiding us on what to do. Which is kind of nice. Heading up this way. Press this. Okay, press that. That makes a cylinder. Oh, I see. Ah. Let me just push this across then. Yes, there we go. Get on top of this, and then we have this thing moving over this way. Jump down, push the button. Now we can continue. Heading over this way, we have this button, which causes this to appear. Very nice, got that chain done. Now we head down here and jump here, and around, over this way, push this, jump on top of here to get up here, follow the blue arrows, music change, nice, roll the ball onto the track. You can't walk on the tracks. Get the ball in there, and now we just wait for it to hit the button. Might take a bit. There it goes. Now we can push this across. And continue. Press that button. And now we can go this way, take the elevators, jump onto here, careful. Another spinner here, and a truss to climb up. Seems like another music change. We're back outside. We need to hit each color of button with the respective color of push box. There are some colors that don't actually help, so do try to avoid those. There's buttons 1 and 3. All that's left is button 2. And there we go. With all 3 buttons pressed, we can now continue this way. And now we need to dodge kill bricks while ascending as opposed to descending. Now that we're at the top, we have this. Do avoid the super fast red conveyors there. Push this off. Away it goes, and that activates this over here. Grow the flower by completing the 3 mini puzzles. Yeah, that's kind of something a lot of these towers do, I've noticed, is just have a bunch of mini puzzles. Alright, we want to fire the push box out of the cannon when the color changer is aligned with the button. Like that. Nice. Push that, and now we can continue this way. This tower actually asks you to do these in a particular order. Anyway, that one was pretty simple. Just avoid pushing the push box when it's the same color as the upcoming obstacle. Okay. Now the real question here is, okay, we have a small box and we have a big box. The big box would appear to be... Okay, well first of all, we need to push this into this little slot here, if I can get it to fit. There we go. Push that, and that makes that appear. And now this box can actually come across here. Alright. Move that into place, move those away. Using the buttons on the floor. Now change the color, and that works. Now we have more of a timing puzzle. And there we go. Now we can continue. press the green buttons to reach the bottom. Wait, am I supposed to jump in here? That makes sense. Might be. Push that. Press the green buttons. Do not press the red buttons. And there we go. Press this. Move it over this way. Press that. And now you can head over here. Ride along. Now it's time to bake a cake! Hey! Push the flour into its respective... Oh, it didn't go. Push that in. Nice. Push these in. Nice. Climb the ladder. The cake's on display. That's funny. Press that button, and now we have these structures going on. Now we can head into here, and that brings us here. Victory lap floor. Nice. Go ahead and push this over this way, and ride on top of it. Do more riding as well as a wrap. I'm pretty sure you need a wrap there anyway. Spawn the push box on the moving platform, and then get it to the button below. So I spawned it there. It gets knocked off. Now I can guide it to the button and press this to spawn this. But, oh, I see where I need to take this, actually. Just rotate it around. Yes. Jump from here to the truss. You can't jump here. We have CMYK buttons. That's funny. We need to push them into their respective locations. Pretty easy to figure out, I think. Yeah, they all basically spawn right next to the correct locations. So you don't need to really push them around each other or anything. Now just walk across. And there we go. Wrap around that. Jump across here. Funny how the final challenge is Glass Bridge, because of course it is. But yeah, you can just spawn helpful push boxes that make that trivial. That was the Tower of Kinetic Potential, and we are now on to the Tower of No Strings Attached, which focuses on things like zip lines, as you can see here. You just jump into the zip line, and it automatically takes you across. Pretty nice. Some zip lines, however, will have a bit more slack in the rope, pretty much. And you can also sometimes manually stop riding a zip line by pressing the jump button. In my case, that's the space bar. Continuing this way. 7 towers in an hour 30. That's not bad. The sign tells you to jump when the zipline reaches the green part. So there's that. I also don't think I know which song this is a reference to right now. I really should catch up with all these rips. Continuing over this way. Ride this zipline. Jump up here, ride this. Climb the truss, climb this truss. Jump down, head on over this way. Now we have to go get 2 buttons, as indicated by the text down there. Jump off here, and there's 1. Now to get the other. That was simple. Now we can climb up this series of ramps. And walk out here to hit this zip line. That takes us up to the next set of floors. Press this button, and now we're introduced to balloons. You can freely move a lot of the time with these, and they mostly just serve to move you upward a bit. They tend to pop automatically after a set time, so you want to make sure you are where you need to be. Sometimes, though, you will need to manually press the jump button to exit. Push the button to enable a shortcut back up here if you happen to fall, which is nice. Now we have a timer showing exactly how long the balloon will last. That's really nice, honestly. Only jump against the wall. Yeah. I would think that would go without saying, but yeah. If you jump early, you're not gonna have you're not gonna have a good time. You're gonna have a bad time. Not gonna have a bad time, no. You're not gonna have a good time. And by that I mean you're gonna have a bad time. Jump to the next platform at the top. Like that. Elevator there, that's swinging. Go over this way, climb this. Hit both of the buttons, and continue over this way. We're now outside. And now we have a speed boost as well as a balloon. We need to find buttons here. Or, well, rather we need to hit timed buttons, I suppose. Well, there was one timed button, I should say. Okay, heading over this way, we have this button. That's good. And actually, yeah, we need to get this other button. I'm just gonna squeeze through there. That works. With all the walls disabled, we can now continue. Only jump against the wall, as we were told. Jump up to push the button, that closes things off. And now we head up here. I have just a little bit to go, and here we have these ropes. When you jump into them, you hold onto them automatically. You can move around, and then of course you just press the jump button to let go. So here, that takes us right across, and that one takes us up. Seems like the yellow ones generally bring you to the origin of the rope. So that's something to be aware of. These ones are bouncy. Take your time. Yeah, they use a spring constraint, so that's pretty funny. This way. Oh. Okay, I ended up backtracking for no good reason. That's my bad. Trying this again. Head around this way. Jump up. There we go. Now we have this. Okay. Got the button. Now we can continue this way. Take the zip line. Jump across the wedges. We have this here. Leads up here. Continuing this way. Alright, this takes us across. We need to hit the button as we go. Or rather, the buttons, plural. Okay. Continuing from there, we have this. Yeah, I need to hit the elevator while you're on that rope to hit that button. That's pretty neat. Ride across. Climb the truss. Take the elevator, and we have another one of these sections. Okay, we hit the button. Let me go, please. Thank you. Okay, now we can continue over to here, where we need to hit that button as well. And now, once these walls move out of the way, we can take the elevator. Oop. Jump over here. it before the story? Nice. Also, I screwed that up. Well. I'm not entirely too concerned about time because, I mean, the later towers get pretty dang long. But I mean, this kind of is the later towers now that I think about it. We're on number 8 out of 11. So I guess this might not be as long as I thought. So if it ends up being significantly shorter than I was expecting, I guess I might play through some other stuff, maybe? I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Okay, get off the balloon there. Take this, jump off here. Elevator, zip line. Jump down, do that. More elevator shenanigans. Okay, ride this around. Nice. Now back inside. Climb here. There's that button. Now we take the balloon again. There's a beam, very conveniently leading us back. Now we continue past that and over here. Keep jumping between the zip lines, and of course we need to go back a second time because now that second wall is out of the way. Jump up here and walk in. 3 challenges. The first 2 you do are safe, but the last won't be. So, what you should do is save the easiest for last. We have launch stars from Super Mario Galaxy. That's pretty funny. Jump here. We have this button timed. Take the zipline outside. Jump down. Now over here, take this zipline. Jump here and onto this zipline. Elevator onto the rope. Jump off here. Climb the truss, and we're done with that. And now it's blocked off, so we can't go there again. I'm going to do swings next. If I could land in the star, that is. There we go. Yo! This is an arrangement of a track from the Japan-only Game Boy Advance game Kururin Paradise. I only know of it because it was in freaking the Mario 64 Kaizo hack Super Mario Treasure World. I know. It's kind of crazy that I recognize it from that of all places, but yeah. Okay, we got past that ball of electricity, I guess. Now we have these spinners. Dodge them, hit the timed button. Alright, there's that button. Head back down here. Drop down. Go around the things. Take this, hit the button, and then continue. Take the elevator. Pretty straightforward stuff here, honestly. Take the leftmost one here to avoid getting hit by the kill bricks. This elevator's just here for you to get on top of there so you can go up here. And we're done with this one as well. All that remains is the balloons challenge. Since this is the last one I chose, it's unsafe, so don't fall. Honestly, a fittingly intense song here for the one unsafe challenge. Okay, made it in. The real question is, where do I... Oh, I see. Push this, hit the button. That opens this. Okay. Hit the timed button. Hit that timed button. Continue this way. Alright, we have this going on. Hit that button. Oh, I see. I have to go about it a very specific way. Push. Get through the wall. Okay, I need to hit that button over there to get through this one. Yeah. There we go. Okay, and there's the end of that. That's a relief. All three are done, which means, yep, there's a truss now. And that is the end of that tower. Nice. And now we are on to the hard towers, with the Tower of Keys to Success. They turned the photo channel into the me channel. Are you kidding me? Anyway, this tower basically tutorializes keys and doors. So that's neat. Actually, wait, no, this isn't the me channel. This is... That was Mario Paint, I think, just now. I don't... Yeah, that was definitely Mario Paint. What? What is going on? And of course, we have the requisite Granddad. Grab that key and unlock that door. And yeah, we have Mario Paint again. Okay, we got the big yellow ball here. Push that on through, get the key, and now we can go unlock this door. And now we're up here. This again! Always with the Flintstones bit. I guess if it was funny the first time. Anyway, outside here, you may notice some arrows on the ground. I imagine those are pointing you in the direction of the entrance to the first floor, which is nice. Anyway, break through that wall and unlock this. Now we have something of a maze here. But of course, the correct path is actually pretty easy. Just head over here and collect this key. Open that door. Now we have this, and I already got the key. Cool, just in the center there. I like the view of the Tower of Heck from the bottom there, that's funny. The Tower of Heck, of course, being a tower in Ring 1. The oldest tower in the game, now that I think about it. Anyway, we already got the key for this room, so now we just need to get up to the door. And away it goes. Climb up the truss. Wait a minute, what did that say? Roadblock. Is that supposed to be a play on Roblox? Alright, we have this spinner. Let's just get off here and... yeah, jump on up. These are some funny songs. I'll give the developers that. Alright, we have this with a seemingly intangible kill brick net, so if you fall here, you're gonna have to redo part of the last floor. We have this rotating thing. Not too much of an issue, though. These rotate as well, and they're connected. Push this. A mongoose. Alright, these are supposed to remove your key. I'm not sure if they actually do that, but we got through it nonetheless. There's a ball bouncing here, demonstrating what these do. Elevators. So that's nice. Seesaw. And we got the pink key. Take the tightrope across. Yeah, preferred strategy for those is to zoom into first person and line your cursor up with the thing. Alright, now we're back over here. Jump on here. And that unlocks the way to the next. So you just ride these slow, spinning platforms around, while avoiding the kill bricks and such. Here are the stairs and ladder forward. We have this spinning top hat. Take this over this way, and now we're outside. A bit concerning. We need to find a blue key. Oh, well, wouldn't you know it? There's the blue key, and also those things that fell there. You wouldn't want to get hit by those. At least I don't think you would. I don't imagine that would do wonders for you staying on the platform there. Anyway, continuing this way, the Domino Rally. Funny. Take this elevator up, jump onto the top hat, and over. Right, that spins it. Okay, let me do all of that again. Okay, just riding these back around. Don't need to detour to get the key this time, because I already used it. So that at least is nice. Just gonna jump over that again. Domino Rally. Jump on over this way. Take the elevator up. Land on the top hat. Spin the thing round. And suddenly we're in a cage. We have an arrangement of the Super Mario World castle theme. Found a key. That unlocks that gate. I like this. It's like an arrangement of... Oh, it's an arrangement of the newer Super Mario Bros. Wii Tower theme, even. That would explain why it does sound so similar. That's funny. In case you don't know, newer Super Mario Bros. Wii is like a mod of new Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's pretty neat. Anyway, we found a key there. Now I can just drop back down, I guess. Doesn't seem like there's much else to see here. Going back this way, though, there's a gate to unlock. Nice. Heading on over this way. Push this all the way through. And we have this going on. Push this button, it's timed. But that's plenty of time to get over here. Are you lost? Is there even a way out? Can a castle even grant dreams? We have a push box here. Push it across. Oh, that's what I would say if I weren't a Okay, go back through the gate, walk across, take this thing again, jump down to the sphere, climb up, timed button again, back over here, push the thing like that. That ensures that we don't fall. Good. And suddenly we fall into this. And now we're underwater! Okay, we need to go this way. Win a key here! Boom. Done. That was easy. Now we just need to backtrack over to that key door. Bam. Continuing this way. Now we have a purple door. Jump into this button and land here. Huh. I think I always get confused at this part. Well, there is that. Ah, there's that over there. I see, I see. Right, right, of course. Well, in that case, I'm just gonna shortcut there. Come on, game, let me shortcut. Thank you. Activate that. Collect that key. And that opens that door. Nice. Now we have this ball pit, pretty much. Ride them round to get up here. And now we have a Super Mario Bros. Wonder arrangement. And it's referencing Yoshi's story. That's nice. Yeah, you want to walk across that quickly because that ball just comes out of nowhere. Grab the key and continue back this way. We're going to be unlocking that door, which will allow the ball, I think, to like activate a button or something, so that's pretty nice. Or crash through the wall, opening a way forward. That works too. Dangerous outside here, yes. Pretty interesting contraption there where these things just flare out and then come back inward. We got a key. Hi, chat, at the bottom there. Or not at the bottom, but on the floor below. Alright, we have this key. Now what we need to do is take it back over this way, dodge the ball, and there's the thing the key unlocks. Now we can continue this way, across the wheel here, jump around this. Elevator takes us right up here. Nice. There's no music. That figures. Of course this song doesn't work. Well, I guess we don't have music for this bit. So I guess I'm just gonna have to fill the dead air with my talking. Anyway, have a chain of stuff on a string here. There's a key. And that seems to be what the key unlocks. So let's head over there. There it goes. Now here we want to climb up here to get another key. And the thing the key unlocks is down below, so be careful when you're descending here, because there is no floor to speak of. Unlock that, and take the elevator over this way. Jump up and around. Have a bit of a wait, I guess. I see where I need to jump off. There it is. Climb here. Okay, take the elevators over this way. And, okay. We have another unsafe outside from what I'm gathering from that sign. But it's not much of an issue at all. Push this back over and to the other side. Now we have something of a maze. I don't exactly remember which way to go. Oh, I already found the way. Wow, that was fast. Oh, pfft, I walked off. Let's just get back up here. Being on a giant spinner like this can kind of mess with your intuition for movement. Like, when you try to jump like this, you move slower. Not even a space-top castle. Climb up to the top. And enter. Or I guess just touch that. And now we're up here. Mario Odyssey. Alright, we have 4 colored challenges here. I'm going to tackle the red one first. This one seems to revolve mostly around timed buttons. And there is a big red key. That is now closed off. The blue challenge. What's going on here, I wonder? Wonder. Because the background music is an arrangement of something from Mario Wonder, apparently. It's in the style of a different track, I can tell you that. Ah, the elevators are obstacles here. That makes sense. Yeah, this is the track from Mario Wonder, but just in the style of a different song. I don't even know what the other song is named, to be honest with you. Alright, we want to avoid jumping here, because of the things above. Can jump there, and there's the blue key. 2 challenges left now. Green one. This one seems to revolve quite a bit around spinners. This sounds like the legit song. Surely there's... Oh. Okay, well there was some kind of twist to this challenge, but I was wondering if there'd be some kind of twist to the song, too. Because this is sounding pretty much the same as it usually does. Huh. That's weird. Oh, there it is. That's a very short loop. But we have the green key now. Just 1 challenge left here. I don't know what this is. This song. I need to push this thing over this way. There we go. That'll help. Couldn't even make the jump across. Let me try that again. There we go. Push this across, hit the button. Very nice. Now continue over this way. Heading outside, we have these that rotate. Push these, I guess you could call them turnstiles, out of the way. And there is the yellow key. Now that we have all 4 keys in hand, we can open this door. Black knife? Okay, this kind of caught me off guard. An arrangement of Black Knife from Deltarune Chapter 3 in the style of the Purple Coins theme from Mario Galaxy 2. I'm all here for it, honestly. That's like... It's a damn good Deltarune song, I'll tell you what. I'm not gonna say the context it appears in-game, I don't think, because it's kind of a spoiler. Anyway, here, you're basically on a big old key hunt. You have to find a bunch of keys. I don't think you technically need all of them, but I am going to try to get as many as I can. There's a key over here. Got it. Button here. Shortcut. Nice. So once you get up here once, you don't have to do the whole stuff to get back. Okay, I already got the stuff over here, but I didn't get the stuff in this corner here. And yeah, there's a key. Nice. You might notice there are a bunch of key icons on the bottom of my screen right now. That is because I have just too many dang keys for all of them to follow me, according to my key follow setting that I have set in the preferences. Yeah, this game lets you customize how many keys you want following you, which is nice. But anyway, yeah, I have too many, so they're just showing up at the bottom of the screen. Oh, of course. Oh, this floor's netted. Okay, that's a relief. I was a bit worried. But now I'm not really worried at all. Anyway, I kind of think I might have gotten all the keys on this ground level here. It's really looking like it. Alright, continuing on upward then. Grab that key. We have this key. This key. Okay, I still need to collect more keys to get the green key. The big green key. These are kind of making it hard to see, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, see? Anyway. Just going to climb back up to the second level there. Here we go. Yes! Jump on in. There are 2 keys here. There's one for riding this thing all the way around. That's cool. Now, continuing over this way, we can push that button. And that leads to actually 2 more keys. Wow, okay. More productive than I was expecting, I suppose. Okay. No, there's still that one over there. Okay. Let me go grab that one. There's also whatever's in here. Let me go to my settings here and just... Okay, visual... Key display limit. Set that to off. Okay. That should make things a lot more visible. There's another key, and now we can just backtrack nice and quickly. Another key here. This enables us to easily backtrack from there. And I think that is actually straight up all the keys now. Which, no wait, there's still that one over there. bad. Actually, there's like 3 over here. Wow. Well, there's 1. There's a button overlapping that key such that you have to actually do gameplay on the way back instead of just walking. Okay, that should be all of the keys, I think. Hopefully. Maybe. So now, I think this is the way back up. Okay. Just get up here. Okay, let's just turn that display limit back on. It was like, what? 5. Okay. I actually have some extra keys. That's funny. Okay. Now we just need to head over this way and open the big doors. Strength. Persistence. And a bit of luck. That does it for that tower. On to the Tower of Dancing All Night. This one's actually pretty short from what I recall, so that's pretty nice. We're gonna want all the time we can get for Citadel Victory. That thing is long. In fact, it's so long and complex that it's outright being considered for being moved to a different area, simply because it's so hard relative to everything else here. Anyway, timed button section isn't too bad. This is a truss glide. You align yourself with this wall pretty much, turn on shift lock, and you can actually slightly tilt to do this sort of thing. Anyway, we have a real banger track going on here. I think those are seats, so you want to avoid them. Seats, of course, make you sit. Here we have beat blocks. You can tell when they're about to change because they slightly grow or shrink. And they do have a set rhythm to them, which helps. Push the platform across here. Wait for this beat block before continuing. Conveyor that moves you against the wall here. Continuing, we have this neat little pixel art thing going on. Like fishes and such in water. And it's like a little island. That's neat. Falling platforms are indicated with inlets in this particular tower, so be wary of that. Jump around here. Stand on the falling platform to get the wall to move away. Neat. Inventive usage of that, honestly. Continuing this way. Jump across with the momentum from the conveyor. And now we're outside. If I recall, this tower does not have forgiving outsides. The good news is that outside lasted like all of 2 seconds. We have elevators going on here, and they boost you rather high. Collect buttons to get your raft to the end of the river. First one's right here. Push that. Next one's over here. Wrap around. Wrap around again. We have beat blocks. Push that button. That gets us forward a bit more. Here we have a conveyor and some falling platforms. Jump down onto this elevator and, yeah, get up here. The truss is there in case you don't quite make it. Pretty forgiving. Jump onto the spinner and press the button. Just one more button and then we can continue. Going over this way now, we have this question mark ball. Turn it over and there is the last button. Climb this ladder, and suddenly we're boosted up. Look ahead. You want to go when the beat block is off. If you don't look ahead, you are going to regret it. Potentially. We have a pushing platform here. More beat blocks going on. Falling platform, get off that immediately. Wrap around and climb the truss. Take this elevator over this way. Aim for the teleporter below you after pushing this pusher. Turn your graphics quality up if you cannot see it. That'll be that there. Push this button to open up the walls. Here we are. We have another series of mini challenges. Quite the pattern among towers in this realm, I gotta say. I think... Actually, no. I think most of the outsides in this tower are forgiving, but there's one in particular that isn't. We'll get there when we get there. Wrap all the way around that cylinder and push this button. This moves, and now we can take this over here to the spinner challenge. Starting with this spinner with ramps to climb up. Then go across these. Climb the truss. Ride this around. Wrap around this wall. Continue this way. Jump off. Walk over here. Wrap around that. Pretty thin, but you can get stopped by it. Push that button, and now we can continue to the beat block challenge. Here you want to stand on the white outlined spot here before the beat block changes. Here we have another section where you're jumping between two of them. Wrap around, climb up, push this. And now we have outline-less beat blocks that are spinning. Push that button, and now let's read these signs. Jump down to floor 1 here. X marks the spot. Good luck. Can't see it? Try increasing your graphics to at least 3. The X is all the way down here. Land on it perfectly. Nice. Then just jump onto this elevator and take it all the way back up top. This leads directly to the top of the tower. But the wind pad isn't accessible right now. This tower's progression is a wee bit unusual. We actually descend from here to the last floors. Yeah, wind pad above, but we need to get a button first. So here we are on floors 7 and 8, I believe. This is 7 here. We have a neat aesthetic going on here. Jump across these small platforms, wrap around onto this ramp. Look ahead again. Timing is key. Walk off and grab onto that truss. Wrap around this way. And we have a tutorial on flip blocks. They have a weld texture. You press the F key to flip to the other side. We have more truss gliding going on. There we go. A spinner here. Up here. In order to truly master this game, you'll really get comfortable doing jumps with the side of your character. Like that. We have conveyors leading over this way. And now we have a practically infinite speed boost. Why they didn't just set this to infinite is beyond me. But yeah, 100,000 seconds. That's much longer than you should realistically be spending in this tower. We have acquired the key. We can now continue to floors 9 and 10. Squeeze through. We have a nice little numbered thing going on here. The numbers tell you what order to do things in. Final outside. It is not forgiving at all. If you fall here, you're going to lose all your progress. So you had better not fail this. Make sure you hit that button. We have this again. Dodge the things. Push this across nice and carefully. Jump here. Another truss glide. jump across the falling platforms, and up here. Elevator. Take it all the way around. We have another section where you need to jump between two of these. Nice. Climb up here. And these basically say, look ahead. You are going to regret it if you don't look ahead and fall here. There we go. Now let me show off how dance clips work. Yeah. The way those work is you align yourself with the wall, parallel to the wall, click the Dance 2 button, or type in the chat /E space Dance 2 if you have access to that. Then you wait for your character to move all the way to one side, and then... Okay, we're now on floor 10. This floor is netted, thankfully. Anyway, as I was saying, for the dance clip, you wait until your character has moved all the way to one side. Oh wait, actually I forgot about the camera manipulation. So like, let me show what you do. Now that we have some downtime. So you align yourself with the wall, turn your camera 90 degrees like this, press this, and then you push shift lock at the very moment your character is moved all the way to one side. And if you do it correctly, you can clip through thin walls with it. Press that, and the big button is now available. Over this way, we have this elevator. Jump into it. And now we fall all the way back to this platform, where we can go across back here. WinPad above, congrats. Thank you very much. The next tower is very forgiving, but it's rather long. Welcome to the Citadel of Victory. This one, like I said, is long. It's even got a secret ending which takes even longer. I am not going for that now. Anyway, we need to head over here and trigger this. That leads us back down here, and the stairs are now available. Push the box over here. We have a pushing platform here in the corner, which leads here. Jump up and onto this cylinder. Push that button, and the door opens. Obviously, we need to go into the door, which leads us, with a seamless teleport, to floor 2. And I think we have more suspiciously similar song stuff going on. Take the car all the way across. Funny how the pushing platform is made to look like a car. Jump down the chimney here. And now we have this little push box section where we need to push the box through these spinners. Not that bad, honestly. Here you want to push it with your back or side up this slope, because if you try pushing it while facing towards it, you're just gonna kinda climb up it and it's not gonna work. Anyway, now that the ladder is constructed, we can go up there. Heading up here. Now you might notice that this tower's difficulty is red, if you'll notice up top in the bar. I can mouse over it and it shows the full name, of course. Red difficulty is difficult, which is the level above hard. And the Citadel of Victory is the only tower with that difficulty in this realm. Yeah, it's quite a bit harder than everything else. Also, look at this illusion, that's funny. Anyway, climb up the ladder here. And we arrive at floor 3. Here we need to find 4 items and bring them to these picnic tables. Funny how you just completely glitch out if you do that while you're shift locked. Anyway, over this way, we need to push this, climb up here, go across here, take the zip line, and collect the beach ball. That's just one of the 4 items we need. Now, heading back in the same direction, push this over this way to get up here. Here we have a rubber duck. So that's 2 of the 4 already. Now, heading back over this way, push this and climb up by holding jump, pretty much. Now we have these platforms dangling from single strings that like to go kinda crazy and all over the place. It can be kinda hard to predict their movement. Anyway, take that around, and here we have a teddy bear. That's 3 of the 4. Now, heading over this way, we have a push box. Push this here, and push this. Push the push box onto this. And now, get into the space behind, and if you can, make sure the push box stays on this thing. Push it to this button, and there you go. Ah, but we need to bring the push box back over, of course. That works. Yeah, nice. And we obtain the car, the toy car. Place all the items, and a green truss appears, leading to the next floor. Here is floor 4. Not entirely sure where to go just yet. Well, it looks like there's stuff over that way. Ah, I see. Alright. Staying back here, jump over. Let's see. Going across the bridge with some missing segments. We activate this push box. We push that over that way so that this guy can go across. But then we need to push it back and over this way to push the guy across again. Then we need to get him to ride the conveyor, but he's rather prone to just rolling, which is kinda infuriating sometimes. But he made it up, and that's all that matters. Push the box around and onto this pushing platform. Then push it off of this ledge. Done correctly, that will activate that. The axe chops down the tree, and we can now proceed up this way. There's a swinging platform here. Push this down, and that leads to another button. This time it builds a boat, complete with a little fabric seat. Isn't that cute? Go sit in the seat, and the boat automatically moves into the next floor. And then it sinks away. Here we are on floor 5 of... Actually, no, I don't think this thing does have 25 floors, does it? Sorry, just looking at something real quick. No, it only has 20. Okay, my bad. I said earlier it had 25, but no, it just has 20. So it's not as long as it could be. So we have this that moves up and down. Ride it up to the top, and then walk down here. Now we have a push box button and a regular button. We need to use this button to guide the push box to the end of this little contraption here. That platform lifts the thing up. Activate the button. And there we go. Now we are in possession of the push box, which enables us to get up here and collect this. this little tree-shaped key. We use it to open this door. And now things are somewhat cramped in here, and also the music isn't working. Well, that's just splendid. Another one of these things that move up and down. Interact with this lever, or just walk up to it, rather. And that button is now accessible. Drop down to it. And the elevator moves up. Press the button. A bench appears. Believe it or not, we actually do need to sit in the bench. Suddenly, we're on the next floor. Beach Bowl Galaxy. Nice. In the style of Kirby 64. That's great. Anyway, heading around here, we push this button. Enables a neat little shortcut. Jump up. Too slow. Whatever. We got the shortcut. It's fine. Alright, yeah, you want to move a little bit preemptively there to catch the rather quick platform. Now, we push this little guy across all three of those, and he hits the button. And hopefully... Bro. Okay, thank you for getting out of the way. I was wondering if that ball would. We got the shovel! And look at that, there's this little map indicating where we need to go. We need to use this shovel to dig up a particular spot. It would appear that it's here. Yes. We have now acquired a key, and look, there's a little indication of what it's used to unlock. That's pretty nice. The real question is, how are we going to backtrack from here? Ah, well, there's this over here. This leads back to the previous floor. Pretty nice. Oop, I accidentally went here again. Whatever. Just drop down through the thing. There we go. We're now where the push box used to be, which is funny. Now where's... Ah, and then we drop down here at the end of this river. And that leads us back to this floor. And now we can unlock the door here. This leads... to floor 7, the first of 2 basement floors. I like the use of, like, Mother 3 drums here. That's nice. We have parts moving along conveyor belts, as well as just plain old conveyor belts. There's a vent up there. Rather interesting. Actually, I think you're just supposed to straight up jump across this. The vent, I think, is involved in, like, the secret ending. Don't actually need it for the regular playthrough, which is nice. Anyway, heading across here. We push this button, and out comes a push box. The question is, what do we use it for? The little sleepy boy. Well, if we head up here... Ah, right, I'm remembering now. We need to get this holder thing down. Push that down and position it at the end of the belt here. Let's see if this works. Respawn the push box and it should hopefully land in there. Close enough. Just pushing this is naturally going to... Yes! Nice, now we can get out. Flip the lever, and part of the first floor falls away to reveal the way forward. And now we climb up the stairs, and we're back on floor 1. We we can now exit here and take this spring all the way up. This is, I believe, floor 8. The color here is kind of hurting my eyes, honestly. Anyway, pretty straightforward stuff here. Press the fan button, and that makes that fan increase in power, which lets us go higher with it. Neat. That allows us to access this next section. Jump up here. Get out of there. Nice. Very good. Didn't fall. Okay, this is something. I'm just gonna do that. Okay. We have this, which leads outside. Don't worry, you'll be safe if you fall. Yeah, because that spring was outside the tower and all. Very easy to access. Anyway, we need to avoid the fan here. Pretty simple stuff. Time it properly. Nice. Climb up here, press the button. Now the central part lets us go even higher. Go ahead and jump back down here. And here we are. Jump up here, and now we have 2 paths to go. Doesn't really matter which one you pick. You just need to... Actually, wait. No, you do need to do both, I think. My bad. Okay, we have this that you need to dodge. There we go. And now you need to time it. Yes. Collect this. And now additional platforms appear, so we can make our way back. We can go ahead and add that to the cauldron there. That fan is currently inoperative. We need to go get another item out here. This is a pushbox fan thing. It can be kind of finicky to work with. But, there we go. I like how it just has a big face and it's basically just screaming. Or a big mouth, rather, on its face. Not necessarily a big face, just a big mouth. Anyway. Enough semantics. We got the second item. Let's get back inside. Good timing, it's not that difficult. Add this to the cauldron. And that activates the fan. Very nice. Now we can continue. Welcome to the blue floor. Which apparently has no music at all! Wow, what a letdown! Anyway, what floor is this? Okay, the next one I think is 11, so this is 10. Yeah, we're already almost at the halfway point. Go through the traffic to get over here. Ride this up, jump off here. Now we need to hitch a ride on one of these, and climb here. Jump across here. We have a set of 4 tight ropes, some of which have kill bricks on them. I'm just kind of YOLOing it because I don't feel like doing the usual strat. Anyway, here we have these platforms that move down. You're supposed to jump between them like this. Now we have walls that move toward you. What you want to do is wrap around them. Push this button. That drops down the ladder there. Very nice. And now we backtrack a wee bit to this telephone pole and jump over here to climb the ladder. More seamless teleportation. Here we have a little guy who shoots cubes. Again with the big mouth going on, that's funny. We ride the cube over and press the button. That enables us to bring the turret with us. Now we position it carefully. Oh, that's funny. You just end up coming back through a vent. Anyway, jump over that. And now we can come back and bring the turret with us one more time. Alright, now we need to use this thing to flip the turret. Okay, that's not how I wanted it flipped. Come on. Okay. Now don't mess with it again. Okay. Flip it so that it shoots upward. Now here, we need to hit all of the buttons within like 10 seconds of each other. Done. And now we're here. Look at all this. We'll be going over there later. Just a little later, actually. It's on the next floor, I think. Anyway, now we can go this way. Jump up, and here we are, floor 11. Which has the same music as that little section on the previous floor. Okay then. We have moving walls blocking this truss, or at least trying to. Take the pushing car across. And now we need to hitch a ride on another platform bullet. I like how the little stop signs there redirect these. Well, they're not really stop signs so much as just directional signs, but you get the idea. These seem to move a bit slower, which is nice. Disembark here. Catch up here. And now we have this big old bridge. But what you want to do is stay on the cars as much as you can manage. We need to ride back this way to hit that button, which is timed, and then get back over this way and climb up. Nice. Heading down this way now. Just get across there. And now we're here in this big ol' section. And now I'm realizing I didn't need to move this thing at all. Actually, wait. Okay, I'm confused. How exactly do I get... Oh, wait. Oh, right. It's this thing over this way, isn't it? No? Huh. Well, consarn it, now I'm confused. Wait a minute, I just pushed this off. Yes! I remember now. And then we push this into place, and that activates that button. Yes, very nice. Jump through and enter this door. The clock turns back time. And look at that, we got a medieval theme going on with this castle and such. And I'm pretty sure this is, in fact, floor 12. Jump across here, dodge the wall. We have these moving platforms. Jump on the lower one first, jump to the upper one. Nice. We have this wall you can just wrap around. A nice neon square indicating that you need to jump down. Alright, wait for this swinging platform. Ride on top of it to get to this truss. We have a wheel here. Wait for the moving walls to part. Yes. Another moving platform here. Get off of it before it, well, goes all the way into the kill bricks up there. We have this. Wait for the platforms to move back and jump across. Can't really make that gap without the platform moving to aid you. So, there's that. Now here we need to dodge these walls. Press the button, and the portcullis, I'm pretty sure that's called, opens. Looks pretty dangerous out here, doesn't it? Yeah, I'd prefer not to fall. Alright, here we have this that moves up and down and tries to crush you, pretty much. So you're gonna want to dodge that, obviously. There's neon silhouettes here indicating when you should jump to the platforms. Another very nice indication feature. We have these moving walls that try to shove you off. And then we have this that launches you upward. Neat. Now the U-shaped arrow on this platform indicates what you need to do. Go through this way, hit the button, come back through this wall, and continue. Now we have this. Again, we need to dodge some walls. The neon indicates where to stand. Nice. We now enter floor 13. Climb up the cone, and continue. Be wary of this. Jump only when the platform is out. Yes. Dodge the swinging axe. Hey, that's a thing from critical damage. That's funny. Yeah, the Tower of Critical Damage had those in spades. Push the timed button to get through, and climb up this rotating structure. Jump up here. And now we have this, a push box cannon, pretty much. Load in the push box. And the thing got stuck. The thing got stuck. Why is it getting stuck? Okay, let's try this again. There, wait. It missed. How could you miss? You're a linear... There you go. Now we can continue in here. Drop down, and now we're inside here. Wait for the conveyor to turn around before you make that jump, obviously. Yeah, that flips. And now we land in here, and the guards are alerted. Yep, we've got to break out of another dungeon. We got a push box section, but a rather unusual one. This little guy has a little segment that extends up and down, which is pretty useful and is used in some inventive ways for this puzzle, like this, so that you can get it over the kill bricks there. Now here you want it to be retracted. Yeah. Get it to extend here, and now it carries itself across the conveyor. Nice and convenient. Push it over this way, and use it to get up to the key. Hitch a ride over across the way on the platform, and now that we have the key, we can open the door to our cell. Oh, look who's asleep on the job. We have this moving back and forth, leading to another key. This allows us to open this door. Now we have these guys swinging axes. Dodge them, and continue. We now have a spiral staircase leading up to an outside. This is technically still part of floor 12, I think. But the music's different now. We have more swinging axes. And we have parts moving up and down in this kill brick circle. Ride this platform down and get off before it ends up in the kill bricks. Oh, another one of these. Okay. Almost walked directly under that and got squished, pretty much. But didn't happen. Anyway, you ride on top of this thing to reach this truss. Some nice reuse of parts there. Hitch a ride on the swinging platform, and now we're back up to 13, where we have this circular spinning platform. Ride it on up while dodging the semicircular kill bricks. We have this spinner now, which you can rather easily get on the center of. And we have another elevator, leading up to the next floor. These floors are under construction. Watch your step. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is 14. And we have an arrangement of Luigi Picross 1, Toby Fox's fan song for Mario no Super Picross, Mario's Super Picross, which is a puzzle game for the Super NES, I suppose, that was not released in North America, I can tell you that. It's a sequel to the Game Boy game Mario's Picross, so that's neat. Anyway, just negotiating this floor here, we now have a truss, and I'm gonna hit the ceiling. Yeah, whatever. I like the use of Undertale-esque instruments for this because it's the arrangement's named Super Papyrus Picross. That's very funny. I like that. Papyrus is, of course, in Undertale, a very big aficionado of puzzles. Anyway, alright, we need to turn this thing round, get it to align like this, and push this. That makes a bridge. Nice. And now we need to get across this chain of... Or I could just screw it up royally like that. Sure, why not? Just walk backwards through the trusses, push this out of the way, walk across the bridge, and yeah, these kind of move in a somewhat jerky motion. So you generally want to make your move when they're moving the least. Makes it more consistent that way. We have universal studs indicating falling platforms. And I understand what the point of this is. Streets of Hydro City. Heck yeah, Hydro City Act 2. From Sonic 3. That's a banger tune for certain. Just gonna jump over the kill brick, taking advantage of the swinging motion. And now we push this over this way. Okay, I need to get this really swinging. Yeah! There we go. Now we have more falling platforms. We need to jump across both of them here. And now we have a wheel of these. Jump over the thing, and here we are. Now we have this moving platform. We want to align ourselves with the universal studs, because that falls away. Or I guess the universal surface, I should say. Alright, now we have a truss push box. If you try to push this with your front, you're just gonna climb up it. So, don't do that. Oh look, there's a coin. Down there. You do need to collect all of the coins for the secret ending of this citadel, which is quite frankly a huge undertaking, and I'm not up for it right now. I've done it before, and it takes even longer than beating the citadel normally. Anyway, we can push this button, and look at that, much like also in Tower of Critical Damage, a wrecking ball destroys a wall for us. Now we can jump back down here, continue over this way, and jump through the hole. Donkey Kong reference! Of course, why wouldn't we have a Donkey Kong reference? Yeah, you're just jumping over the barrels here. Pretty simple stuff. Once you get the rhythm down, it's not that bad. Again, align yourself with the universal here to push it out of the way. Now we have this tilty bit. Climb up to the top and press the button, and then continue. Climb this ladder, continue up, and here we are on the next floor. Hilltop zone. Nice. Okay. Clearly there's some kind of puzzle right. Okay. So we need to use this hanging guy with the face, the long face in fact, as a bridge to access these challenges. Again with the mini challenges set up. Press this button, dodge around these walls, climb the truss. We have another seesaw going on here. Only we really need to try to actually make it do the thing. There we go. Now that it's off kilter, we can go up. And climb this truss, at least temporarily. Jump off backward. And now we can push this. But if we push it too far, it comes back. That's actually kind of nice. Alright, so we need to push it rather slow, so we can get across here. Yes! We have more barrel dodging going on. Push this button to start constructing this building here. We need to fully construct that to continue. So, coming back over this way, yeah, respawn the thing, and now we turn it around 180 degrees. 180, of course. Push the button, drop the thing. Wait for one of these platforms. There we go. That makes a bridge. Climb up here. I have to wrap around. Press this button, and get deposited here. That's pretty nice. Okay, you're supposed to end up deposited down there, but I ended up here somehow. Not complaining. Push the button. The building's looking better and better. Just one button left now. Push the respawn button and move the thing over this way. Press the button to drop it. Walk across. Enter the drum. Alright, we're out of the drum. Here we have this sweeping kill brick swing. Not that bad. Here we have some spinners. We have this swinging platform. Just gonna wait for it here. Oh, right. I just remembered what the deal with that is. You have to... That's a falling platform. Duh. Of course. Okay. Wait here. Jump up. Alright, wait over here on these spinning bits. And now the building is fully constructed. There it is. And look at that. Minesweeper in solitaire. And at the top of the building is what we need to use. So, heading back this way, we now need to turn the thing around 180 degrees once again. Perhaps I should have done that one last, actually. But, just drop that down. Continue across the way. And climb up to the top of this here building. It would help if I could actually do the thing. Alright. Walk up to the satellite, and the signal is received. The pipes on various floors of the Citadel are now open. So we're going to be taking one of them. Welcome to the Warp Zone, taking the form of a classic Roblox obby. We need to make our way to that pipe over there that I'm looking at. And that would appear to involve going through here. I don't want to find out what happens if you touch these. It would be really bad if they were insta-kill, I'll tell you that much, but I don't imagine they are. Like, that would kind of be too punishing for this late in the Citadel, right? Nevertheless, avoided them all anyway. And we arrive in the second basement floor, which, if I recall, is floor 17, coming up on the end. The trusses there are purely decorative. Where are we going? Looks like here. Yes. Wait. Can I ride the... Yes! Okay, cool. I was just wondering, because it looked a bit different. What's this do? Probably nothing. Let's just continue. We have this going on. Walk through here. Alright, we need to keep this big push box safe from the saw blades. As well as these crushers. Or actually, no, I think... Oh, come on, game. Just because of... Alright, I'll be sure to hold W the entire time and not let go. There we go. Yeah, the push box lets you get past that thing. Continuing back into here. This. Jump across. Nowhere to go but here. We have hammers crashing down. Dodge them. Nice. Continuing over this way. Don't fall. You don't want to have to do that again. Make your way up here and turn this. There we go. The door is now open. So now we just need to head across the way. And through the door. But before we get to ride the glorious Roblox minecart, we have to survive this. Yeah, partway through the compare reverses direction. And then suddenly the objective switches from dodging kill bricks to staying on top of the regular bricks. And then the conveyor switches direction again. Thankfully that doesn't take too long. Now we enter the minecart and ride it out. Climb up the stairs, and now we're outside with a little rocket here. Climb in, and we're off. Coming all the way back toward the Citadel now. And we have an arrangement of the moon theme from DuckTales for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Fitting. Welcome to space, and to the final 3 floors of this Citadel. And they're netted too, which is super nice. Of course, yeah, we have these very temporary but very fast speed boosters that you'll be relying on a lot around here. As well as these elevators. This turns as you walk across it, and we push that button, and a star appears. Now we don't have to do any of that we just went through again. Continue over this way. We activate a timed button, and use these to get through before that closes off. Continue across the elevators, Use the speed booster to get across. Here we need to run against the conveyor using the speed boosters. Kind of not allowed to jump because those elevators, the fans, will just send you back. Jump into the center here and take the star over this way. Alright, first, we need to head around this planet and activate the 3 buttons. There we go. Now, be careful with the timing here. You want the push box to go through one of the neon rings. Oh, right, I can't do that myself. I have to jump around. Duh. Yeah, you want the push box to go through one of the rings that isn't kill bricks. And now the real question. Well, I guess I do have to go this way. Ah, I see. Line the push box up beforehand. Continue back this way. Get the speed boost and push it across. Nice. Climb up the truss and continue. Floor 19 begins with this. Step on all the panels. Yep. And you have to dodge these laser beam kill bricks. Not that they hurt you all that much, but it's better to dodge them. As you can tell, we're making the shape of a star here. With that done, we can take this star onto the next part of the floor. Honestly, that star bit where you have to step on all the tiles feels very Super Mario 3D World coded. Like, there's similar stuff in that game. Anyway, now we're over here. Jump across the falling platforms. That was bad. Okay, doing this again. Like I said, the floors are netted. So it's not too big a deal if you fall. Alright, back to the wheel of elevators. These actually go real high. So that's nice. Now we have more of these moving walls that try to shove you off. Of course, you need to use the speed boosters to get past them. And now we have this elevator. Time it properly to get it over here. Time that properly, enter the star, and go over here. Here you need to use the elevators to get over the kill brick walls. And then launch over this way. Use the speed boosters to cross the gaps. Climb the truss at the end. Okay, for this is a little bit of a puzzle. You need to align the elevators with each other such that they guide the push box all the way to a button. I'm being very exacting about this. This one's facing the completely wrong way. Like, it couldn't have been wronger if it tried. Come on, come on. Good enough. That should work. Now all I need to do is spawn in the push box. And sure enough, that works. And I'm realizing the star appearance sound effect is from Balatro. Alright, here's the wheel. The wheel is certainly something, I'll tell you that much. Okay. Press the button, and now we have a limited time, so we need to hurry. Jump to the side, take the elevators, get the speed boost, climb back up to the star, and here it is, the final floor, the victory lap. A time challenge that will put your skills to the test to prove yourself worthy of victory. Keep an eye out for hidden clocks around the course, you'll need them to extend the timer. There are checkpoints here, which is nice. Is this snow halation again? Come on, man. The clocks scattered about kind of give you a lot of time, which is nice. This can be a pretty loop-faily tower for newer players, I will say. So, the fact that they give you so much time is honestly real nice. Push that down, checkpoint. The Mario 64 warp sound. That's nice. Up here we have another clock, nice. Bounce across, yes. By the way, there are coins hidden in this segment of the tower, and the timer does not stop while you're going to get them. Of course, we have All-Star now. That's funny. Anyway, yeah, the timer doesn't stop. The way that works, frankly, reminds me of how the secrets work in that Pizza Tower level War, where the timer that goes for the whole level doesn't stop even when you're in the secrets. So it keeps the pressure going in that way. Another checkpoint here. And now we're back to these mechanics from the purple floors. There's a clock right here. I've already got 2 minutes worth of time. It's kind of crazy, considering I'm probably nearing the end of this, like, at least halfway there. Okay, that thing flips around. Another clock. And we have this thing. Careful of the moving wall. Nice. This swinging thing. Ride across. Go against the grain as usual. Another swinging platform here. Climb up the truss to get across. Push this down. And it becomes a usable swinging platform. We have barrels again. Just jump them. Push this across through the wall. Hello? Do you want to go down? Thank you. Dodge the barrels, get the time. Where do I go exactly? Oh, right. Walk along with the barrels to this checkpoint. And now we have a recap of the space floors. And of course I failed. Whatever. Stars circling round. Another clock. We need to go around the back way. Take the speed booster. Vault over the wall. And here we go. Look at that. We're at the end. You win! Woo! Yeah, the coins are they're also oh, wait. Oh, right, you have to find hit stuff hidden within, but you don't actually get the coins until after. Right, that's how it works. Apologies for that. I haven't played the secret ending in a while, in case you couldn't tell. Badge awarded, 2+ hour completion. That is the Purgatorio Tower Rush, completed in 191 minutes. That's 191 minutes and 4.82 seconds. Feels good to have that done, not gonna lie. Got a bunch of tickets from everything here, very nice. Let's see if I can buy anything. Heck yeah, I can. Cool. And I like how you can just go to the All tab to see everything, but of course the featured section is discounted. Ride this elevator up. Hey, well done on beating a tower. We welcome you to Ito, and you have what it takes to become one of the best Roblox hobbyists. Now go keep completing towers and exploring more areas. I can't move. But it's not like I was going to spend any more time here, really, anyway. That is Purgatorio 100% done, including the Tower Rush. Boy, does that feel good to say. I have a medium tower to do. Ah, the Steeple of Pleasant Enjoyment. Interesting. Speaking of which, how about them challenges? Interesting. New easy tower in Paradise Atoll. Huh. Alright, I might do some of those to, I guess, kill some time here. Return to the hub. The game has over 400 towers. I've beaten like half of them, I guess. I now have no real reason to come back to Purgatorio until Citadel of Victory gets moved, I guess. Anyway. Going to Ring 1 now. And that first challenge... Let me just show where that's going to be. So heading west from the start point... Wait a minute. This is... Oh, right, yeah, the teleport to viewing area, of course. Yes, it is here. Heading over this way, there are some clouds to jump on, as well as tiny little floating islands. There's a ladder here. Climb on up. Jump across. Windswept Peak, the event replay hub, requires you to have 10 tower points. Tower points themselves actually have something of a storied history, if I can talk about that for a moment. You see, originally, different types of towers would give different numbers of tower points. Like, regular towers would give you 1, steeples, which are only 5 or 6 floors long, would give you half a tower point, and a citadel would be worth 2. But that did eventually get changed so that everything is worth 1 now. Which, in my opinion, I kind of think that's not that good of a change because it disincentivizes you to complete longer towers as opposed to shorter ones. But anyway. Also worth noting is that originally tower points were split up by world, so like the spatial system, which consists of the zones, all 10 of them, had a separate tower point count from the Great Inferno, which consists of the rings, of which there are 9. So you'd have to progress in both worlds separately. That was actually a change made later on. Originally they were shared, and now they are shared again. So I guess that got reverted in a way. Now where's that fun slide I've heard so much about, I wonder? The fun slide to the bottom of the Inferno, yes. Where is that? Oh, it's over this way. I see. Woo. Mario 64 sound effect. And that leads directly to Ring 9? I was not expecting that, but I guess when they said the bottom of the Inferno, they meant it literally. I'm kind of lucky that I can even be down here, to be frank. Like, wow, that is crazy. Going back to the hub now. Switching worlds, and we're going to Paradise Atoll. This area has a bit of history too. It was originally intended to be, if I recall, a summer event area, but then it was turned into a permanent sub-realm, but it had a bit of an issue. Look, oh look, there's the monthly tower. Nice. Anyway, as I was saying, bit of an issue with the difficulty distribution. This area had a lot of challenging difficulty towers in it, and not much of anything else. So eventually, changes were made to it to try to make it less challenging heavy. Which, by the way, includes new towers being added. Yeah, like the Tower of Call It a Day, the Steeple of Waterfall, that sort of thing. Yeah, new towers were added, which were like runners-up in the Steel Spire Horizon polls, I think they were. So that's pretty neat. Anyway, here is the monthly tower, the Tower of Hydrophobic Batteries. This is property of Hydrovolt Facilities. We are not obligated to help you if you fall into the water. There's a way to the balcony here. Across the tower are 8 red coins. Collect them all for an Easter egg. Not sure if I'm gonna do that, but that's nice to know. And we have an arrangement of the beach theme from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, so that's pretty neat. I do like the indication on the falling platforms here with the caution tape and the exclamation mark. We have a push box here. Use that to get up here. And push that. What are these, like world border textures from Minecraft? That's funny. Push that all the way, and that makes that happen. Nice. Floor 2. Ah, and there's red coin number 1. That is real nice that they're labeled like that. This sign says, "Conveyors, please don't mind the speed of them." Okay, we have a timed button. So going back this way and climbing up. Alright, now we're down here. We have this with conveyors. Please use the elevator to get down. Failure to do so may break your legs. Take on me. That's funny. In the style of Yoshi's Tropical Island from Mario Party. That's funny. Anyway, floor 3. As the text oh so helpfully spelled out for us. And there's another red coin. As you may have noticed, universal platforms tilt. Using this information, please verify that you are indeed a human. Like it's a CAPTCHA, this puzzle. That's funny. How does this work? Okay, well there's a way to go here. Oh, that's red coin number... I missed one. Figures. Man. Oh, that's interesting. There we go! Nice! And I'm just not going to collect any more red coins. I don't know where the second one is, and I don't even feel like bothering with the rest now that I've missed the second. It's whatever. Jump down here, like the DNA-esque beam there. That's funny. Double helix and all. Anyway, push this across, climb up here. There's a... Oh, there's number 2. Figures. It's not like I can backtrack from here exactly, I don't think, so... Well, that's good to know. The radio holograms can and will support your weight. Use the X pusher to go across the gap onto the landing pad. So these hologram platforms here do, in fact, work well. Does that take me all the way back to the beginning? Of the floor, okay. I kind of don't want to have these red coins following me the whole time, so I'm just going to set my key display limit to 0. And I'm just now noticing that the cosmetics I had on are just not here. What the heck is going on? Okay, heading back up here, over to the holograms. Do I even need that X pusher? It's not looking like it. Okay, well I can get to the center, but I guess that's not where I need to go. Alright. Let's just wait here. Floor 4 is right over that way, okay. Let's just ride this thing out and jump down. There we go. Floor 4. Particle accelerator. Glue conveyors. That's a weld, bruh. Only support crates, not you. There's red coin number 5. Drop down onto the crate and push the button. Timed, okay. Push this button. And now what we need to do appears to be going into the particle accelerator. You will be placed into a marble course, which you must navigate. Okay. Neat. Why is it just wind? That's weird. What happened to the funky music that was going there still? Activate. Net. Jump across, hit that. Hurry along. And we're back. Floor 5. And we have more arrangements of songs in the style of other songs. There's a... That looks like a freaking Luigi's Mansion boss key, if I may be so honest. Hey, I've heard this before. Wasn't this in one of the freaking something about videos by Terminal Montage? Orange gates. Give you your jump back. Nice. Continuing over this way. Right, those do only carry crates. We need to get the crate. There's the crate. It's a tall crate. Just ride it across, dodge the stuff, and disembark. Continuing over this way. Okay, looks like we need to drop down here. We have acquired the key, and we can also now open the gate at the start of the floor. We've just activated a timed button. We need to climb back up rather quickly. There we go. We can now open the door and continue outside again, where there's nothing but the wind to keep us company. You can't go through red doors. Universal conveyors only support you, not the crate. Well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't try to bring it that way. Or at least didn't try for long. Bring that through here. Okay. Now we can get up here. Into the pipe. Another marble section. Okay. What is this? Just an obstacle? Alright then. Okay, these things do hurt you if they touch you. But still not too bad. Is that like a Wii Play sound effect? think it is. That's funny. Floor 6. Same music as the last one. Which means we get to hear it from the beginning again. Nice. Okay, that's a pretty fast spinner. Navigating through this. I said, there we go. Yes. Alright, now we have what look like solar panels. They seem to be pretty standard platforms, actually. Jump over this way. Ride this. Head on through. Now continuing this way. Button. It's time. We need to take this around. There we go. Climb the truss here. Activate. Net. Here we are on floor 7. Seems a fair bit calmer in terms of atmosphere. Go here after you have all the buttons. Okay, it's a button hunt. Someone messed up all the cables up there. Good luck getting through. Oh, well that's just splendid. White zones with particles, like this one down here, teleport us back here, huh? Interesting. Back to the black zone with particles. That makes sense. And I like how the wires indicate different challenges. That's nice. Well, there's one button. That's cool. Back here now. Okay, I get the oh. That just teleports you back immediately? That's kind of lame, man. Oh, I see. I'm supposed to go around. Push that. Oh, come on! Am I not supposed to jump there or something? Walk around. Walk around. Yeah, okay, low ceiling. That makes sense. And there's red coin number 7. Seems like I can only find the odd numbered ones, which is kind of... eh. Alright, all that's left is purism. Which basically means there are no client objects around here. I like how the black outline parts aren't tangible. That's good indication, I think. Oops. Not so purist after all, it's so you don't cheat. Push. Alright, we're back here. Let's continue back the way down, following the arrows. Now we can take this over here, walk around, and the orange zone with particles teleports us up here. Nice. Alright, we got a no-jump section. Man, this thing moves slowly. That falls. That also falls. Not that it matters. We pushed the button. We are good to go. Onward. Take the pusher. Climb up here. Please push a crate on the crate conveyor, otherwise you will fall through. Notice to all personnel, putting these boxes on the test course. Watch your paycheck. Okay, the one we need is indicated. That's nice. Certainly wouldn't like having to search through all of them for that. Get up here, push this across. Beam leads down here. Up the truss. Continuing over this way. Floor 8, okay. Activate. Net. Caution. Anything past the yellow tape is not over the retractable net. Proceed with caution. Understood. Anyway, still seems really simple over here. Okay, that's a force field. I get the feeling I'm not going to be able to go through there for at least a little bit. probably until I get a key. There's a crate behind. Oh, wait. I can't go through there. Oh, that's the wrong conveyor. Duh. I can't go through there, but the crate can. Yes. Now just get it away from the wall and push it onto the elevator. Push it over this way and take it here. Certainly don't want to let it fall through the gap. Wait for the elevator to return. Oh, look, there's the wind pad. Right, I do need the push box for this. Good. Push the button. Nice. Now we can head back over this way. Behind the yellow tape. That's at least a little concerning. Okay. Push that. And now we need to just sit back, I guess, dodge these. Push that button at the end, I guess, to start going down. That would make sense. Yeah. Alright, continuing downwards now. And now continuing this way. Ooh, music coming back in. Alright, here we are. Notice, this sector has currently been flipped to emergency mode. An anomaly has caused the system to malfunction and cause a blackout. Follow the emergency light to the rooftop. Most gaps are marked by neon. Floor 9. Okay, nice. Ooh, that was close. That could have been bad. Push that, and now we can continue. Got a pentomino made up of those falling platforms, that's funny. Alright, continuing over here. Floor 10, wow. Alright, we need to get through here relatively quickly. It's a no-jump section. Okay, we push the button, and now we can continue. Yes. Jump across conveyors. It almost seems like I need to... Wait, no. I need to climb up on top of the crates, that would make sense. Yes! Okay. Conveyor here. Another one of these slow-moving things. Where exactly am I going, anyway? Huh. Drop down from here. Okay. Yes. There's the door that requires all the red coins. Might try this again some other time, see if I can get all of them. Take the elevator up. And now we have this final run. Just going across the solar panels here with jump and speed boost. And there is the star-shaped wind pad. Nice. That is that monthly challenge completed. That was worth 8. But I think that's with my VIP 1.5 times ticket multiplier. Still, though, that was pretty cool. Hey, good job on beating one of the steeples or towers here. This subrealm has mostly summer/tropical themed frames and design for the steeples and towers. Feel free to explore around this small area and take in the view of the subrealm around you before going back to trying to beat the rest of the steeples/towers. Neat little place here. You can see that big umbrella over here. that is the Steeple of Underlying Breezes, one of the hardest steeples here. You can see some parts hanging off of the frame there. Most of it's like client objects, so yeah, that's certainly a thing. The sandcastle looking one over there, I'm pretty sure is the Steeple of Dusty Dunes. That's the other hardest one here. Though, I'd argue Underlying Breezes is a good deal harder than Dusty Dunes. And look, the difficulty chart agrees with me. Anyway, what else is here? Jolly good fun, 6 feet under, like it's a PowerPoint slideshow. I bet that means like PowerPoint slideshow frame rate, like super low frame rate. Which would undoubtedly be annoying, but still doable, I suppose. The Gauntlet of Heck consists of Tower of Heck, Tower of Mirrored Heck, and the classic version of Tower of Mirrored Heck. Interesting. 7 of difficulty chart? Sheesh. Plant-themed Remorseless Tower. What, like Tower of Forever Sleeping Flower? That's one that immediately comes to mind. It's one of the easiest Remorseless Towers in the game, if I recall. So that's funny. Oh, there's a new insane tower in Arcane Area. Wow, okay. Well, seeing as I'm pretty much out of time, I think that'll do it for today. So, thank you all so much for tuning in. Please do not forget to like this stream if you did in fact like it. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts or anything you'd like to bring to my attention. Subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss anything new from me. I'd just like to mention again that I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, 5 days a week. So I don't want y'all missing out on that. And lastly, if you know anyone else who you think might like this sort of thing, be sure to share my channel with them. I'd appreciate it a lot. I honestly think that next stream, I think I'm going to just play more of this, see if I can do more challenges, maybe see if I can beat some other stuff, you know, that sort of thing. I'm not sure how I'm going to fill 4 hours worth of time, I guess, but I'll figure it out. So I will see you then.